Hello, hello, beloved ones. Hamilton here, the Freedom Illuminator, Embodiment Queen, showing up here to talk about living your soul true. And if it's the first time watching me, I help professionals and entrepreneurs to finally break free from generational imprints, patterns, and habits so that they can really align with that unique signature blueprint, freedom of individuality, and create their life as they desire. Tap into that unwavering self love and confidence and thrive in the boardroom and boardroom. And here I am to talk about living your truth, because I hear a lot of people, especially when it comes to relationship. Oh, I want my soulmate. I'm ready to attract my soulmate and all that. And one thing that I ask myself is, what are you talking about when you're talking about attracting a soulmate? What does that look like? Because people would be saying all these things, these buzzwords, without knowing what it means for them. They're just saying, I want a soulmate. But the question is, are you doing the work of the soul? Have you aligned your personality with your soul? Are you aware of who you are not? Because for you to have what you want, to have that desired outcome, you gotta release who you are not. And the reason why I'm asking, are you creating your life from the templates of the truth of who and what you were told, whether it was the family, cultural, society, religious, political, or even the medical system. Because here's the thing, if at all you've been diagnosed with something, and for you, you absorbed everything that you were told, and you believe that's the truth, is the truth that you were exposed to by the medical system. But the question is, what is your truth, right? What is it that you really want? What is your truth? Because when you come in from the knowing that this is what I want, this is what I'm worthy of, this is what I deserve, it's easy for you to create that. But if you are doing it because of the noise that is outside, but a part of you, especially when it comes to sexual sovereignty, a part of you is feeling like I don't deserve it, whatever stories that you may be creating from, then chances are you're not gonna have it. Because the truth of it is most people are creating their life from guilt and shame, and you can't create from guilt and shame. If you are creating with the feeling that you are not worthy, who you are is a sin or whatever stories that I find a lot of people living from, then that means you're not gonna give birth to what you desire. So are you living your soul truth, or you are creating from old inherited templates that you were born in, whatever stories that is in the environment? Because at times when I talk to people, they'll be like, yeah, but things didn't seem like that. It doesn't matter what things may have been like or you thought things were, but the question is, what is it that you see playing out in your life? When you connect to your life, yourself, what do you see playing out? Whether it's in relationship, whether it's in your health blueprint, emotional and mental well-being, what do you see playing out? Because our external is always communicating to us or with us, right? I was having a conversation with someone earlier who said it was on a podcast, and this person said, I quit my, like he was studying in the medicine department and all of that. And he said, I quit. And when people looked at me like I'm crazy, I had failed and wanted to know why I'm doing that, a lot of people were disappointed. I didn't know what to tell them, but somehow I just knew that this is not what I wanted. And I'm not going to serve people at the level that I desire to serve people if I'm doing this, because it's not in alignment. It feels like it's a lot of work. And people often don't really connect deep to find out, is this my truth or not? And I've worked with many doctors, whether they're from Harvard, whatever, and they realize that I have been doing all these things just because I wanted to make one of my parents proud and happy. And when they don't get that, somehow, even though they may be doing it because I've done this, I've come so far, and this is where I am, there is some sort of resentment within. They resent what they're doing. And I remember one lady who said, I don't like even the word proud, because it's like I've done all this work and my mom takes pride in what I've done. She doesn't care about me, but she cares about their status when she talks about other people. My daughter has this achievement. It's coming from this university. This are her quality. Like it's kind of like something that she can boast about. But at the end of the day, without even accepting and validating the person that somehow is looking up to that parent to say, can you see me? Are you proud of what I've done? And at times you may be going through something, but there is some sort of resentment because you are not in alignment with your relationship blueprint. That's why you find yourself in those toxic relationships, attracting people who probably they are into addiction or whatever the heck that is happening that you don't like, but you are not willing to dig deep to say, why am I attracting these people? Because there's a reason why your nervous system is navigating towards those people. Your spiritual blueprint, is that really you, or you are just following whatever that you inherited? You need to ask questions. It's not those times where like it was fear that, okay, fine, I'm gonna be ostracized when I live my truth. Even some of you may be like, I don't know what my gifts are. I want to embody my gifts. I want to live my truth. I want to share what is within me. But if there is fear that has been existing in your family lineage, you're not going to go there until you deal with the fear that is in here. If at all you were exposed to the love that was toxic, the dysfunctional relationships, that's what you know. So are you willing to look at this? Are you living your soul truth? And here's the thing that I also find, especially when it comes to the spiritual community, at times we tell ourselves a lie, because if you are wounded, whatever intuition that you think you are flowing, it's going to be wounded as well. I've had people who are giving an excuse that, yeah, my angels, they're saying this, and when the time is right, I know they will tell me and all that. I've been that person because I wanted to protect my wounds. I stayed in a toxic situation, and I'll receive information and I'll interpret it however that I wanted because I was afraid of taking the action that was calling me to take. I was afraid of doing something that was never done. At the end of the day, I was living to myself. I stayed there and a lot of things happened. I found myself in so much deep pain. And that's when it's kind of like some people had to leave, or it has to be very chaotic for me to realize that I can't be here anymore. So some of you are either have gone through some toxic relationships, you are out of it, but you're just like, yeah, I'm looking for my soulmate. Soulmate, what? If you are not in alignment with the soul, if you are not doing the work, what are you talking about? And or maybe you are focusing on what they did, whatever names that you may be calling them. It doesn't matter. You may call them whatever. And I always say this: if you don't do the fucking work, you're just transferring your power to those people. You are holding into that. You are basically connected to them, and they're dictating how you get to live your life because you are not willing to embody what you desire. What stories are you telling yourself? Because your external life is reflecting something to you. It's quite interesting. I follow the energy. So you may be listening to this, or you're gonna listen to this in the future, and let me know where you're watching from. Because what is coming through is kind of like some deep heaviness, especially by the pelvic area. There is some deep heaviness that is coming there, which shows me that somehow there is the disconnection from your sexual sovereignty. And interesting enough, this energy still goes to the power center, like by the solar plexus. There is a lot of heaviness that is happening there. So if there is that push and pull between that sexual sovereignty, between your creative energy, between your energy of pleasure, between that energy that is connected to your wealth and prosperity, and you owning your power, that means somehow there is war, a conflict that is going within. You may be experiencing that in your physical reality, where it's kind of like people are challenging who you are, disrespecting you, and you wonder why is this happening? Probably you are called to own your power. And even when I'm talking about power, I'm reminded of somebody who came to me not so long ago, and she wanted some she wanted to buy certain programs, and she asked me, don't you have something for less than $200? So I gave her something for less than $200. And she said, she started having stories, but the stories were more of, this is what happened to me. I had this illness and all that and all that. And I'm sharing this to you because what came to me as she was saying all this, it's it doesn't mean she doesn't have the money to pay this. Because I mean, I can connect to the energy. Right? Hello, beloved. Green, green. From South Africa. I love that. Bringing that African energy. Thanks for being here. It's not like she didn't have the money to pay for whatever that she wanted, but for a long time she benefited from using her illness to somehow get whether something for free or discounts and all that. And just this energy, it was scattering her energy, it was taking her power away from her. Do you realize how we give away our energy? This is why I'm like, are you living your truth, or the religious truth, or the political truth, or the medical truth, cultural truth, societal truth. What truth are you living? Because it can be like, oh, people sympathize with me. But at times you don't need that sympathy. You need to embody your own freedom of individuality and sovereignty and take decisions that empowers you. But if you are used to using, whether it's your illness, your situation, to benefit from something, it's not gonna save you. It's not gonna save you. It's gonna suck life out of you. Like this woman that I'm talking about. There was a lot of disconnection. There was a lot of conflict that is happening within her. Her solar plexus was tired. But at the end of the day, because I was not willing to see her illness, her brokenness, somehow she may have felt unseen or something because she stopped responding. But I honor the beauty, the magnificence that is within her, and I know what she's capable when she takes her power from that illness, when she takes her power from whatever small benefits that at the end of the day, they're not sustainable, right? So I'm just here to ask you, because it's the end of July. You may have told yourself this year, I'm gonna. What is your this year? I'm gonna. I wish to. I would love to. You know what your soul truly desires, because that whisper is coming through for a reason. Otherwise, it wouldn't be coming through. Whatever that is coming through, and I'm gonna do this. And maybe someone who's a neighbor, your friend for a long time is telling you, come on, you dream too much. Or even your partner. I'm one of those people who, even my family, some of my family, of even my partner, who I expected is going to be celebrating and supporting me in my biggest mission, he didn't get it. And it's not to make anyone wrong, it's just because that mission was not theirs. So when he said you are flipping crazy, I was okay with being crazy because it's my purpose. And at times the family is also trying to help you, to protect you from the fear mechanism. I know, even when it's quite interesting, because it came to my awareness today that even when it comes to my gift, it's something my mom was very gifted, but she never fully. Quite interesting, because there are two things here. When I'm talking about all those systems, it's kind of like, who is the authority? Even at times when you like, oh, my angels and my guides and all that, you are still not embodying your own power. You are not being your own authority. You are still holding into somebody outside of you to decide what gets to happen, right? So my mom was very gifted, but somehow she was waiting for the church that she was in to sort of like give her permission to start helping people, and she never got to help people. But with that, it's kind of like all that energy was within her. She never allowed it to flow. She never really used her gifts. And if you are coming from a family that is also running from itself, from its gifts, you may want kind of like, I want to know my gifts, but I don't know how, because there is all this fear that is in your ancestral lineages. So I'm just here to ask you that. You can choose to live in that fear, to live in that doubt, to live in that smallness, but it's not who you are. That's why it's uncomfortable. Because if it was, you would be fine, just like everybody else. Because there are people who are fine in that playing small. There are people who are fine in those toxic relationships and making up stories just to sort of like show other people that it's kind of like, oh, my hobby, this, my. But they know that when they behind closed doors, there's no happiness and all that. They fucking resent the same person that they're sort of whatever praising outside. It's quite interesting, because all this thing was coming through today to say, at times you give away yourself, you run away from yourself. But at the end of the day, no matter how age you're gonna be, 70, 60, 80, whatever that is, you're gonna resent the same person that you tolerated shit from. Because the truth of it is, you receive what you tolerate. But for how long are you gonna tolerate whatever that you tolerated? I know when I told myself that this is what the universe is saying, but that's not what the universe was saying. I was creating some stories, not exactly what was coming through, because my wound wouldn't let me make a decision that was going to save me. But it got painful. And I don't want you to wait until it's painful. It got painful when I lost everything that I had, but that all that was happening for me to know who I am. But you don't have to wait until you lose everything. Because some of you are in a relationship where your relationship, your marriage is in that near death. It's like on the edge of dying. And you convince yourself, when you get older, you don't need sex, and your partner may resent you, may be frustrated, may have stepped out of your marriage because they're not satisfied. Or even when it comes to you being intimate, you are being intimate, but it's kind of like, I'm waiting for you to be done. You are just so you contracted, you don't like it. Or even because of the unresolved wounds, you're afraid of being in a relationship. when we hold into this mentalization of self-love, but that you know there is something that you want to experience. Your body want to love. You want to experience a deeper, heightened experience of connecting with somebody. Because this is the only body that we have, truth be told, right? And even when you're talking about whether it's like that energetic orgasm, is different from the physical one. So it's another thing when you say, I'm waiting. I'm open to attract the right person, soul aligned person, but you doing the work rather than I don't need somebody. I always say that's what people say because there is a lot that is not healed. Let's just call it what it is. There is the Lord that is not healed. So are you in alignment with your soul truth? Are you living your soul truth? Are you telling yourself the truth? Because the level that you are not open to tell yourself the truth is the level that you are not open to tell other people the truth. And that means you are not saving other people. That means you are not open to even hearing the truth. You may have listened to this and part of you was like, I want to check out. I'm not comfortable listening to this. But if you've held on so far, I celebrate you. Because if you're feeling triggered, if you're feeling uncomfortable, that is a moment of breakthrough. There is something that is yet to be broken if you are willing to act on that. So, with that said, how much is my name? I help professional entrepreneurs to finally break free from generational imprints and patterns. That is, stop creating your life from old templates, from other people's truth, and connect with your higher self so that you can tap into that unwavering self-love, magnetic confidence, and attract soul aligned relationship and abundance. You deserve that, so that you can thrive in the boardroom and bedroom. And I believe we need to go through life fully alive, not just existing. And I'll drop the link below. Or just send me a DM if you're like, how I've heard you so many times, but I've never done anything about you. And I feel like this is time because we're talking about real transformation. What I do is not information. There is a lot of information of how to, but what I can tell you is it's not sustainable because you're not coming from the body. When I ask you, what is it that you desire? You can write it down. And I'll tell you when I connect with whatever that you desire, what is coming through. Because if you are connected to the body, you are embodying that. Your body is a yes. But at times, when you want something, whether it's 100,000, whether it's like the emotionally available partner, but it's the fear is coming through because you don't have the capacity to receive that. Thank you, my lovely sister. I love that. And I celebrate you for holding on and being here. You know, at times we just get to tell ourselves the truth, tell others the truth, because when you're talking about authenticity, it's kind of like, I'm going to speak my truth, and it's not the truth of I'm going to speak my truth from the anger, what we think is the truth. The truth is, what is it that is expansive for me, and what is it? Why, if you're afraid, why? Because it's also a filter. There are people who are open to listen to that. They're waiting to hear that from you. There are people that you are meant to serve, right? And those who may be holding you down, when you come in with your soul truth, they can't stand it and they're going to get out of the way. And that's what we're talking about when we talk about the triad of success. That is, you are being authentic and confident. And when you moving, showing up like that, it's conviction. It's either you work with me, follow me, or get out of the fucking way because I'm not willing to play small anymore. So, with that said, have a wonderful, magical, and orgasmic day and tell me what you got from this. And thank you so much for being with me here. I love you and I can't wait to connect with you. I'll share a link below of the orgasmic clarity if you want to really dive deep into what is holding you back. And it's your choice to say, I want to take action and dive deeper, or thank you for letting me know because now you will know. But at the same time, awareness without any action, it's like having an intention, which is the highest form of creation, and not doing anything about it. It's like praying and not taking any action. And when you do that, nothing is going to happen. It's like the hope that you needed when you were beat down by life, but with hope you can't thrive. You need hope when you are beat down by life. But if you are where you are not beaten by life, but you still like, yeah, I hope that I'll hope. You're gonna stay stuck in hope, right? Hope can be the enemy of greatness. It can be the enemy of the orgasmic creation that your soul is calling you to give birth to.